from the spiritual side. So, like I said early on, I first was introduced to the concept of fasting from the Bible, used by followers of God basically as a way to seek guidance, to repent, to grow spiritually. And it's not specific to just Christianity, it's seen in a bunch of different religious practices just as a way for improving strength and wisdom and breakthrough moments, and just helps build a relationship with God. And so, like biblical examples, Moses fasted for 40 days before he received the 10 commandments from God. Daniel did a fast for 21 days. He ate only vegetables and water. And a lot of people think it's just an Old Testament practice, but there's some New Testament examples. Jesus fasted for 40 days in the wilderness before starting his ministry. I love that 40 number. That's why we do the Holy 40, but that's a crazy long time. And then the early church, after Jesus died and rose again, the early church in Acts fasted before, basically making big decisions as a way to connect more with God, get that mental clarity. And so there's a ton of examples in the Bible, and there's plenty of examples I haven't mentioned. And so it'll be cool, as well as I've been getting into this, to keep my eyes open for other examples of that in the Bible and learn from that as well. Some of the benefits I've experienced from the spiritual side, I think, like I hit on that with the emotional eating, it can help shift our focus away from food as an idol. Like gluttony is one of the 7 deadly sins, and food is a big part of that. And I think we often view food as an idol, always thinking about our next meal, always when we see a commercial of our favorite restaurant or something, it's constantly on our mind, or your favorite snack, just always thinking about that. What I've experienced is this can help shift your focus away from worldly things like food, and yeah, it just removes those idols. And just I think it's good for anything to just have a period away from it, to just remember what your true purpose is and who you truly serve, not yourself or other idols, but serving God. And this is just a great reminder of that. And getting into that, there's no better reminder than hunger. Like, I think of writing something on your hand, and maybe you forget about it, and maybe you look up and see it later, or the reminder app on your phone. I use that all the time, and I'll just, after it's there for a few hours, I'll just glance over it. But there is no more powerful reminder than hunger, than your tummy rumbling. And it's just a reminder, and that's why I like pairing it with Sunday. It's the Sabbath. It's a day to, instead of eating, you can turn to prayer and, okay, why am I doing this again? And I've listed out all these other health benefits and mental benefits, but it's also a spiritual thing for me, being able to apply this more. And just instead of eating and thinking about food, it's a chance to just practice turning to prayer and thinking about God every time that tummy rumbles or you think about food. So yeah, let's just say a quick prayer. God, help me through this. Even though it really isn't that hard, relatively speaking. But yeah, it's just a good way to recenter on those Sundays, that Sabbath. It's just more time for reflection and gratitude. That's again why I like pairing it with Sundays. There's less going on, no work, and kind of more laid back, and it gives you time to reflect and talk to God, get in the Word, journal, whatever it is. Just think, just shut off the noise, and just sit in stillness and see what maybe God may be trying to speak to you. And then back to the Sabbath thing. Growing up, being an athlete, there's a lot of stuff on Sundays, whether it's lifting and workouts, practices, games, even tournaments. grew up without actually practicing a Sabbath. And again, it's more so an Old Testament concept, but I think it still rings true and has a ton of benefits in just having that reset once a week. And that doesn't mean I'm still doing things on Sunday. Like I'm still probably editing this podcast or doing other things for Sharp or maybe answering just a few quick work emails. But this is my way of practicing a Sabbath. And so even though I'm still doing stuff and maybe doing a few work related things, it's a different kind of rest. It's a sacrifice. I think we're called to sacrifice part of our lives when we choose to follow God. And it's a form of sacrifice and just saying, hey, God, I don't need to do this. This isn't a requirement. This isn't the law. But out of love for you and wanting to grow my relationship with you, I want to sacrifice this day, this part of my life, eating for just this period and just use it to devoted to you. And I think that's helped in my faith journey and given some perspective and instilling that Sabbath when I truly never really have in a deep sense. And so that's something I've definitely gotten some benefits from as well.